In your assigned experiments, you will frequently isolate solid products in a Buchner funnel during vacuum filtration. This video demonstrates how to efficiently transfer the solid from the Buchner funnel away from filter paper and boiling stones into a screw cap sample vial. To obtain the weight of the sample, you will not transfer it directly into a tared sample vial while it sits on the balance. When attempting to weigh a sample by transferring it directly to a tared vial on the balance, you'll more than likely spill a portion of your sample on the balance pan, greatly complicating and prolonging this process and potentially damaging the balance and exposing yourself and others to this chemical. Instead, you will use the weighing by difference method to obtain the sample weight. First, obtain the weight of the empty vial. Then obtain the weight of the vial containing the sample. Subtracting the former weight from the latter will afford the weight of the sample itself. What follows is a demonstration of how to transfer a solid sample from a Buchner funnel into a sample vial. Once the solid has been collected by vacuum filtration, transfer the entire damp sample along with filter paper and any boiling stones into a weighing vessel for temporary storage until the entire sample has completely dried. Be sure to label the weighing vessel with your name, course and section number, and the chemical name of the product. Use a spatula to transfer the entire contents of the Buchner funnel into the weighing vessel, the product, filter paper, and any boiling stones. To dislodge the filter paper and its contents from the Buchner funnel, you can drag the blade of a spatula around the edge of the filter paper. Then transfer the entire contents of the Buchner funnel into the weighing vessel. Use your spatula to dislodge any solid still adhering to the inner walls of the Buchner funnel. Don't worry about any solid that clings to the filter paper and boiling stones. Once the sample is dry, it will easily become dislodged, and at that point you can discard the filter paper and boiling stones. Place the weighing vessel in your lab section's communal storage drawer and allow the solid to fully dry before proceeding. Sample drying times vary, but allowing the sample to air dry overnight should be sufficient. You can now begin to transfer the dry solid to a sample vial. First, transfer the entire contents of the funnel to a large piece of filter paper, or use weighing paper or a very large weighing vessel. If you're using either filter paper or weighing paper, fold small sections of 3 sides as shown here to prevent solid from accidentally sliding off the paper onto the bench top. Now transfer solid, filter paper, and any boiling stones onto the large filter paper. Use a spatula to dislodge any solid clinging to the weighing vessel. Use forceps to pick up the filter paper and use a spatula to gently dislodge any solid clinging to its surface. Also use forceps to discard the boiling stones. If any solid sample remains attached, dislodge it with a spatula. Use the blade of a spatula, as shown here, to break up the solid into smaller portions to facilitate its transfer through the slightly narrow opening in the sample vial. The solid is now ready to be transferred. Before the transfer, you must pre-weigh a sample vial. Obtain a screw cap sample vial and weigh the vial without its cap. Immediately record its weight directly into your lab notebook, which you should always bring with you to the balance. To prevent it from tipping over during transfer, secure the pre-weighed vial with a clamp and place a weighing vessel or a piece of filter paper or weighing paper directly underneath the vial to capture any solid that might spill during transfer. You can crease the unfolded end of the filter paper slightly to help direct the flow of solid off the paper into the vial. Holding the filter paper with sample in one hand and a spatula in the other, carefully transfer the solid into the vial. Take your time with the transfer to avoid spills. Carefully and gently scrape the surface of the filter paper with the spatula to dislodge any solid still clinging to its surface. Don't scrape too vigorously, or you will also dislodge fibers of filter paper along with your sample. Also, don't scrape aimlessly at the paper. Look carefully to see if and where any solid remains and scrape only that surface. Don't be concerned with any visible traces of solid that might remain on the surface of the paper, as its weight is negligible. If the container underneath the vial trapped any solid that spilled during transfer, you can now transfer it to the vial after placing another receptacle underneath it. The vial containing sample is ready to be weighed. Tare the balance, weigh the vial containing sample, and immediately record the weight in your laboratory notebook. In the example shown in this video, the weight of the empty vial was 12.93 grams. The weight of the vial plus sample was 13.28 grams, indicating a sample weight of 0.35 grams. Remember to prepare a label for your vial according to the instructions provided by your lab instructor.